that's a good start. Mr. Steve just told me he wants a poo. Too late, Steve. You'll have to hold it in. Here we go. We are back together once more. It's a beautiful day, by the way, even though it's freezing cold. Welcome to the warmest room in the house. It's English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of English, which just happens to be, oh my goodness, it's England. Here we go again.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, beautiful, wonderful viewers from across the globe.
Keep clenching.
Clenching?
Clench.
Why?
Clench those buttocks together.
Well, it's very easy to do that, Mr. Duncan, because it's very cold here.
Yes.
It's about -5.
I can't believe it. This morning I woke up and everywhere was white outside. For a moment I thought it had been snowing, but it wasn't. It was just frost. It was -5. In fact, when I looked at my computer downstairs, it said -6. So after all of those lovely days of warmth and mild weather, suddenly we are plunged into winter.
And, well, it's white where Palmyra is, but where Beatrice is, it's very hot.
Hello, Beatrice.
So we've got all this different weather from all over the globe. We're having to wrap up. Look, we've got T-shirts on. I've got a T-shirt on under here. As you say, this is the warmest room in the house because Mr. Duncan is using lots of electricity.
Okay.
With all the lights. Putting up my electricity bill.
All right. Well, I can turn them off if you want.
I'm only joking, Mr. Duncan. And so, yes, we are plunged into darkness. Look at Mr. Duncan. I don't know why he takes things so seriously. What's he doing? Oh, Mr. Duncan is so annoying sometimes. Well, I don't mind being in the dark. I'm in the dark most of the time anyway, so let's just be in the dark. We've got a few new people here today. Kajal Borad is new, so welcome to you, Kajal. Welcome to have you here. Also from Poland, Mariusz Stroka. Are you new as well? So new people, please let yourself be known to us. Interesting, Mr. Duncan.
Is that better, Mr. Steve?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind. It's your show, not mine.
I'm just worried about your electricity bills.
I was joking. You know I'm joking, Mr. Duncan. He takes things so seriously sometimes.
I just think it's a good idea. But don't worry, Steve, because we have some candles.
Oh, good. Candles. That's what we want.
There we go. So just in case...
You're going to put off all the new people that are joining, Mr. Duncan.
I always have candles on standby, just in case. So hold that in your hand.
Just in case of what?
Yes. Well, just in case we lose our electricity. So...
Well, that hasn't happened for quite a long time, Mr. Duncan.
Here we go.
Right, OK, let's light a candle.
Here we go. Here we go, Steve, just to make sure that... There we go. So we normally use these...
Is this for Jesus?
We normally use these when Mr. Steve is feeling a bit excited and he likes me to drip the hot wax onto the top of his head like this.
Yeah, very good, Mr. Duncan.
So that's what we normally do. But look at that. There we go. We're saving electricity.
Shall I put this under your equipment, Mr. Duncan? What would happen if I waved this candle underneath your computer?
Well, let's just say this candle would go in a place where the sun does not shine.
I feel like I'm at a pop concert.
Really? What,
yeah.
Do you normally take candles to pop concerts?
Well, lights. You sort of hold lights up, don't you? And sort of... Well, people hold candles up, lights. Probably not actually candles, but certainly lights.
How's your poo? Is it coming out yet?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Duncan. You're obsessed with poo.
I'm not. I'm just... You said just before we started, oh, no, I need a poop. So I'm just concerned.
No, I didn't say that. You just made it up, as usual, to try and create some kind of dialogue on the live stream.
Well, we have to do that, or else it would just...
How long have I to hold this for, Mr. Duncan?
Well, as long as you're here. This is it. Or else, if we do that, you see, people can't see us.
Well, they can't see us anyway.
So just to show how prepared we are, can you see how prepared we are today? just in case, because we have been warned once again that there might be power cuts. There might be disconnections of our power supply. So just to make sure we're prepared, we have our candles ready. We have lots of things to talk about today, by the way. We are talking about storage.
Well, not like this, holding candles. We're not going to be doing this for the entire lesson, are we?
Steve, can I put the lights back on?
Well, I didn't tell you to turn them off in the first place.
I was actually going to do this today, by the way.
Oh.
I was going to do this. That's why the candles are...
I did wonder. It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
So I gave you a little...
You might not believe this, Steve, but I was going to do this.
Why?
Because, well, it's funny.
Okay. Right. Well, joke's over. Back to the lesson.
All right then, Steve. Blow out your candle and make a wish.
1, 2, 3.
It
Didn't come true.
It didn't come true. I wished for a handsome prince.
Well, I'm glad that you've done that now and not after I've gone for my walk, because I would have been worried that
or for your
you
poo.
may have set the house on fire by the time I came back. This is going to upset... It's created a lot of stinky smoke, as if we haven't got enough stinky smoke outside, because idiots around this area have decided on this very cold winter day they are going to light fires in their back gardens to burn off all the leaves that have fallen off the trees. I mean, how stupid is that? It's literally enveloped the whole village. One person has lit a giant fire, burning leaves and rubbish in the garden. And the whole, because we're quite up high, we can see the entire village is covered. That's probably 100 houses in this thick smoke, because one idiot has decided that he wants to burn leaves. But there you go. That's what happens to people.
Just knock
around
everything
here.
over, Steve.
What they should do is put the leaves into a nice pile, wait for them to compost down, and then put it on the garden. But no, they have to burn them.
You are turning into a miserable old man.
Well, you shouldn't be lighting fires in very cold weather, because the air presses down and all the smoke stays there.
Anyway,
It doesn't go up.
Steve.
Lots of people in this area with lung conditions, COPD, asthma, stuck in their houses because of that idiot.
Okay.
Anyway, I hope he's watching.
I dare you to go round to that person's house and tell them.
Well, I would have done if I lived next door. Thankfully, it didn't actually affect us. Well, would you go round?
No, I wouldn't.
I would do. I was going to put something on the local village website.
Okay.
Is it like a blog, or is it WhatsApp?
It's Facebook.
Facebook, that's it. To say, whoever is lighting that fire, I would have done it very kindly. I wouldn't have used the word idiot. I'd have said, could the person who's lighting the fire please understand that there are people living in this village who have lung conditions, and could you please not burn your leaves for 3 hours on a cold winter's morning?
Have you
I
finished?
think people would agree.
Well, yes. If they were tuning in to listen to somebody moaning, I suppose they would.
I am.
Yes, you certainly are. We were not with you yesterday. For those wondering where we were doing something family related yesterday, and that's all we're saying. But we are here today with some extra host guest, please, with some extra live streams during the month of December. So that's what we're doing during the month of December, extra live streams, although after today, maybe not. Maybe there won't be any ever again.
I'm surprised the smoke alarms haven't gone off in the house, Mr. Duncan.
Well, fortunately, there are no smoke alarms in here.
Yes, but, you know.
This is the place where there should be, to be honest. There should be smoke alarms.
Yes, all this electrical equipment.
Yes.
Dangers.
It could all burst into flames at any moment.
Well, if you leave the door open, then any smoke will drift into the other room where we do have a smoke detector.
Okay. Some good advice there.
So, new people that have just joined, and welcome to you.
First of all, Steve.
Are you still here?
Once again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to be here. Before we begin, can I say congratulations? The format of this programme, by the way, that I'm trying to stick to. Can I say well done to Beatrice? You are first. Isn't that nice?
Congratulations, Beatrice.
I bet you have a lovely big smile on your face now. Congratulations, Beatrice.
And it's very hot where Beatrice is, so that's something to celebrate. We could do with 35 degrees here right now.
Well, it is. It is 35 degrees.
I dropped my pencil, Mr. Duncan. It's 35 degrees in this studio.
It's like presenting with a ferret. It never stops moving. Just.
I'm going to go and look at my meter. It'll be going round like that.
It won't be doing that. It'll be a blur. Do people still have that?
Well, we've still got an old-fashioned electric meter with a thing that goes round and round and round like this. They keep trying to. They keep trying to get us.
No, Steve.
To have a new type of smart meter.
Don't talk about smart meters. No one cares about this.
Well, how do you know?
You know what they care about. You know what people want to hear about.
Learning English.
Well, that, yes. We haven't done that so far. After 15 minutes. But what they want to hear about is, what does Prince Charles think?
Oh, no, people don't want to know about that.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Well, hello. I'm a little annoyed because one of my sons has decided to make a Netflix. And I was going to Netflix to look for the sequel to Black Panther. And I couldn't find it. But instead, I found my son, and he was saying all sorts of dreadful things, like my mummy was racist and things like that. Well, all I can say is I hope there is no ink, because I hate bloody ink. I hate it. There. That's what Prince Charles thinks.
Well, we don't know what he thinks. He probably wants to strip them of their royal titles. I mean, we're not sort of particular royalists as such.
I'm not a royalist.
Well, I don't think. I think we should keep them, but I'm not sort of. I'm not out there in the streets.
Well, when we say royalist, what I normally mean is a crazy person who goes all the way to London to wave flags and dress up like a giant flag.
Yeah. So I mean, I believe that we should keep the royal family, but I'm not going to go out in the streets and try and meet them, as you say, and go to events where they are,
or throw eggs at them.
But nevertheless, I think the behaviour of a certain prince and his wife,
Prince Harry.
I have to be careful what I say because you sense them.
Is it Harry Windsor? You never hear them talk about his second name. It's Harry Windsor.
They're traitors.
The strange thing is, our royal family, their real name is not Windsor. It was changed because it had a German sound. But they decided to change it to Windsor because it sounded much nicer, more like an English name or a family name. So that's what they did. We are talking about junk, rubbish, tat, things that are unwanted, and I'm not talking about this live stream. I'm talking about something completely different. This morning it was lovely. It was so nice outside, even though it was chilly. We had a harsh frost on the ground. Anything interesting, Mr. Steve?
Magdalena is taking a break from work at the moment. That's what I'm doing. And I will start looking for new work in the new year, probably.
Yes.
Only so that I don't have to keep having to come onto these live streams every day.
Well,
Anything to escape this? No,
that's okay.
I'm joking, Mr. Duncan.
I'm willing to take you seriously.
Well, if you pay me, then maybe I'll stay.
Okay, what were we doing yesterday?
So yesterday we went, as many of you will know, my mother passed away a few months ago, 2 days after the Queen, in fact. I think it was the 10th. Was it the 10th or the 8th of September? I can't remember. I've forgotten already.
It was the 10th.
The 10th, that's right. It was a Saturday. And the Queen died on the 8th, didn't she? Yes. Our Queen, that is, Queen Elizabeth II. And so we've had the funeral and everything, but my mother was cremated. So we had what they call an interment. Interring, where the ashes in a container are placed into the ground. And we had a little heart-shaped plaque made with some nice words on it. And we said a few prayers and basically laid my mum to rest. Sad moment. with my sister and her husband, and then we went for a meal afterwards.
Yes, I suppose it was a way of just sharing some moments and some time together. So it was a very strange atmosphere, and the word intern means to lay to rest. So maybe a coffin that is lowered into the ground or put into a tomb, or maybe the ashes of someone who has been cremated, and then that is put into the ground. Inter. It's a great word, actually.
Yes. Yeah. So we did that yesterday, and we can go and visit now whenever we want. There's a little bench nearby in the it's not a cemetery. It's at the yes, a cemetery is where you bury bodies. That's what we normally think of as cemetery, is where you bury a body. So for ashes, it's a crematorium. It's in the crematorium garden of rest.
Yes,
and you have a little plot about that big, and
you don't need much space when you're only this tall, when you're just a bottle of ashes.
It's a nice peaceful area, nice garden.
Of course, I don't have to worry about that, do I, Steve? Because I am donating my body to medical science. They can do whatever they want with it. Talking of which, there was a very strange television show on Monday night of a live dissection of a person, a human being. So imagine an autopsy being performed on television. But the strange thing was, the person whose body it was doing the description and the narration of the actual dissection. So the person themselves had recorded all of those things before they passed away. Very strange. I did not watch it. I have to be honest with you. I didn't watch it, but it was a very strange event, apparently, and it's never been done before. It's never actually happened before, especially where the person themselves are describing what is happening. Very, very unusual.
So they must have consulted with the doctors that were going to do the dissection as to get the terminology right, presumably.
That's it.
They must have just used certain phrases or sentences.
Yes. Well, normally, apparently, an autopsy or dissection is done in a certain way, so they would know exactly what they were going to do.
Where do they start?
I don't know.
Where do they start when they're cutting you open?
I don't know, Steve. I don't really want to know.
Yes, there must be a process involved.
Yes.
But anyway, what do you mean you don't? Yeah, well, that's what you want to do with your.
Yes, but
remains,
I won't care
it?
then. I worry about it now because it's not very nice to think about. But afterwards, I don't really care, to be honest, because everything's gone. It's all switched off.
Well,
so,
let's hope so.
There you go. Isn't this a nice, happy, Merry Christmas, everyone?
Well, I just thought I'd mention what we were doing yesterday.
Yes. Oh no, that's okay. That's fine.
Claudia's cooking, of course. Something, because it's hot there as well. Claudia's cooking something, and then she's going to let it cool down. Some carrots and potatoes, and then going to add some tuna and mayonnaise later.
That sounds nice.
And some eggs, and mix the yolks in with parsley, mayonnaise, and mustard. You're going to make somebody a wonderful wife.
Yes.
I mean, those skills are incredibly valuable in any kind of relationship. You should be able to woo somebody with your cooking skills. Would that work for you, Mr. Duncan?
Would it work for me?
Would you be able to woo somebody with your cooking skills?
No, I don't need to.
Beans on toast.
I can just put some toast in the toaster and have beans on toast every night.
Crunchy nut cornflakes and milk.
Yes, perfectly all right.
Toast.
Well, I just mentioned toast, so yes, more toast.
Pizza.
Pizza, toast.
Yes.
Baked beans, chips, fried eggs.
Yes.
Sausages. Big sausages. You know I like a big sausage. You really do.
I've said hello to the new members today because we've got new people watching. We've got Kim Lee Tran as well from Vietnam.
Hello to Vietnam. A lot of people watch in Vietnam. It is true.
But we did have some new people. I mentioned their names. Kajal Borad. And a name I didn't recognise, Mariusz Stroka from Poland.
Mariusz. I think Mariusz has definitely been on before.
But certainly Kajal is new, so welcome. Are you still here? Are you still engaged in what we're talking about, or are you bored and have you switched off? As a new person to the channel, please give us a critique.
Well, I'm always concerned. I'm always concerned, Steve, because we get hundreds of new subscribers every week, but we never get more viewers or more viewers of my videos or my live streams. They never increase. I don't know how that works, and it's one of those things that always annoys me. So I get hundreds and hundreds of new people subscribing, but I don't get any extra viewers on my live streams or even for my video lessons. It's very weird, that.
Kajal's still here. Well done. We haven't bored you yet.
No.
And made you go to another channel. So
Yes.
good.
We will try our best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we get desperate, we can strip. You know, just to.
Well, that would definitely send everyone away.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so. So today we're
joking, of course.
I'm talking about junk, keeping things that are now useless. Having things around you that are now old and falling to pieces.
Well, things can be restored. There's lots of television programmes, Mr. Duncan, are there not? It's quite a big theme in the UK. Television programmes encouraging people to restore old toys,
Yes.
cars, houses. Lots of channels involved in restoration.
And some of them are the most boring things ever. If you think this is boring, you should see some of our television programmes. Restoration, making things that are old and broken look like new. But it's so tedious and so slow. And I can't believe people watch these things. I really can't.
Thank you, Palmyra.
I would much rather watch someone being cut up.
Your ever-vigilant moderators are doing their job very well.
Good. And they do it so silently.
Yes, they do. But we like to give recognition for the services that they render to this channel.
We salute you. We salute all of the moderators that exist.
Yes.
Ow.
Serves you right.
This is a very strange vibe today. You've come down in a really horrible mood.
Horrible mood?
Yes.
I'm not in a horrible mood.
Oh, okay then.
I'm in a very good mood, Mr. Duncan.
I thought, well, you were getting so angry about the fire, the people.
Well, I was just that's just me expressing. Nobody's made any comments about that.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm just thinking, I hope this gets better. I hope they get a bit more cheerful.
I'm allowed to express I've got to get my feelings out, because if these feelings stay inside, you know what happens, Mr. Duncan? They fester.
Yes.
There's a good word for you. Fester.
Not Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
If something festers, it means it sort of gets more intense, and if feelings fester, it means they grow and develop silently without anyone seeing and knowing, and then suddenly out they burst in the most unusual and unexpected ways.
Yes, we often use it in medicine for a wound or a cut that starts to go bad and infected. It will fester. It will slowly become more and more inflamed.
Yes, it grows in intensity slowly.
Ugh.
So feelings that you have, that you keep inside, if you express them, it sort of gets rid of them. But if you keep them inside, feelings of hatred towards somebody, maybe, and you keep that, and you sort of gnaw away at it, and it festers and it grows and grows and grows, and then bursts out in an unexpected way, a bit like a boil festering on your arm.
Yes.
Or under your armpit.
Oh, okay.
Fester, that's a good word.
Fester.
Usually, as Mr. Duncan said, used to describe a wound, maybe that's become infected, that sort of gradually gets more and more infected.
I don't
but
like.
you can use it for feelings. inside you, festering away. It's a negative phrase.
It is very negative.
Yes.
Very, very negative. Well, I have to carry on now, Steve, because I have half an hour of stuff to talk about and
Right.
look at. You are going to have... Now, what are you doing first? Are you having your poop or your walk?
I'm not having a poop. I'm going for a walk, Mr. Duncan, and while I'm out for the walk, I'm going to have a poop.
Oh, yes. You could have one behind a tree.
Exactly. I think that's what I'll do. That's nature's way.
Have you ever done that before? Have you ever had a poop outside?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I can't remember specifically. I think probably yes, in an emergency situation. Maybe I'd had a strong curry the night before, or I'd got some kind of infection in my stomach, gastroenteritis or something.
That would do it.
And an upset stomach from an infection, and you're outside, and if you don't, then you're going to have to go home and change your pants. Yes, I've had to use sort of vegetation, leaves, because you don't normally go out walking with toilet paper.
Be careful of the nettles. You
Nettles,
never
use those as toilet paper.
You never want to wipe your bum on nettles.
We've all had to do this, haven't we? We've
Have
all
we?
been caught outside and desperately in need of going to the toilet. It's not this, normally you could sort of hold it in, couldn't you?
Well, I don't know about poops. Sometimes when a poop wants to come out, it will not hold back.
Yes.
And men, of course, quite often if you go around the town late on a Friday night, you will see men having wee-wees everywhere, up the lampposts.
It's illegal.
Up the lampposts and up the walls.
It's illegal in this country.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of anybody actually being arrested for it. But anyway. Yes, I'm sorry. It is gross, Alexander. We
It is
shouldn't really
gross,
be
but
talking about
it's
this.
only because of Mr. Steve. He said just before I started, I need a poop.
Oh, I didn't. You didn't have to mention it, did you?
I felt like
And
it.
bring
though.
this onto the... we've got new people watching this. You don't want to put them off.
I think it brings an element of reality. This is reality, you see, not like those stupid documentaries on Netflix with millionaires moaning about their lives. Oh, my life is so difficult. It's so hard being a millionaire.
Who's this? You must have seen the photographs. I've only been paid 100 million for this Netflix documentary. My life is just so awful.
It's so difficult being one of the
people.
wealthiest people from one of the wealthiest families in the world. It's so difficult.
See,
It's so hard.
this culture of airing your dirty linen in public.
Laundry.
Or laundry, yeah. Linen or laundry in public is something that the British people would never have done years ago. You would normally keep that to yourself. You would
Yes.
sort it out within the family. So they have blatantly created this Netflix documentary with the sole purpose of making money for themselves. And that is the only reason they've done it, because, and they're traitors. I would say they're traitors to their family and to the UK.
Yeah.
And they should be outcasts.
Okay, well, I think they are. I mean, going to live in the United States is quite often a sign that you've been shunned.
Yes, though I don't think there's any way back for them now.
Anyway.
I think that's it. But I suppose they won't do any damage to the royal family.
No,
'cause
and I won't be.
everyone thinks they're a
well,
bunch of idiots.
We might be the only two people who are not going to watch it.
Well,
So-
I'm not going to watch it.
Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Did I just what? We are the only two people who are not going to watch it at all. I have no interest. I don't have Netflix, so that's the other reason as well.
Khaled Mohammed is here from Saudi Arabia. Hello to you. Lots of people whose names I haven't seen for a while, but probably that's because I'm not concentrating on the live streams. Claudia's off because she's going to eat something. It's a public day in Argentina, says Angeles. But it's wonderful to join because it's a public day. They've got time off, time to watch you, Mr. Duncan. Right, I shall go and leave you to not set fire to your studio.
No, I have no intention of doing that.
I might go and turn the electricity off Mr.
Okay,
Duncan.
fine. That's
Just
okay.
the lights.
I don't know why you're trying to really.
I'm joking.
Yes.
Our electricity bills are quite low, really. Because these are all low energy bulbs. I'm only joking, Mr. Duncan.
Ooh.
Right, see you all tomorrow. Are we on tomorrow?
We're not here tomorrow.
We're not here tomorrow. Saturday?
We're not here on Saturday.
Okay. Sunday?
Yes, we're here on Sunday.
On Sunday.
So Mr. Steve will be back once more, and hopefully by then he will be all fresh and what's the word? Satisfied.
Have a good rest of your lesson with Mr. Duncan, and I'll see you all soon.
Mr. Steve is going. We are back. We are back, everybody. It's nice to see you here today. It's nice to see you here on the live chat. Yes, it is English Addict for a Thursday. It seems very strange saying Thursday, by the way. It feels weird. It feels ever so unusual doing it. So lots of people are putting their Christmas lights up, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you something that I recorded a few years ago when I was actually putting my Christmas lights up on the front of the house. I was very busy indeed. This month is proving to be a busy one for me. I have been doing all sorts of things. Today I'm on the roof of my house, fixing some festive lights to the railings above my garage. Have you noticed how important lights are during festivals and celebrations? Even the word light can have a significant meaning. We can see the light. This means that we have had a revelation. If a person suddenly changes their mind about something, or they have a great idea, we can say that they have seen the light. Something that was unclear before can now be seen vividly and can be understood well. That person has seen the light. These are called fairy lights. They are tiny lights that glow and twinkle. Fairy lights are often hung on Christmas trees. They create a magical atmosphere with their gentle glow. Some fairy lights flash or blink. Some are white, while others are multicoloured. The name fairy lights dates back to the late 1800s and became popular after they were used as a stage prop in the opera Iolanthe, written by the composers Gilbert and Sullivan. For the opera, small electric lights were placed on the actors who were playing fairies. The name fairy light stuck and is still used to this very day. Did you know that originally candles were used as decorations? That does not sound very safe to me. Christmas is definitely in the air at the moment. As you can see, the lights are up outside, but I haven't put them up in the house yet. So you can see behind me there is nothing here in the studio. We don't have the Christmas tree yet. We haven't done that even yet. But over the next few days, we are going to do that as well. Hello to everyone on the live chat. Today we are having a look at things that we have, but we don't really need. Things that we have around us, things that might be useless, or maybe things that we no longer use. We are talking about unwanted things, words and phrases connected to all of those items. I suppose a word we often use in that particular situation, we use the word things. I like this word. Things in English relates to almost anything. So maybe sometimes when you can't remember the name of a certain item, you might say thing instead of the name of the item. Things can also be used as a generic term, a general term for items that have been left in a certain place, or maybe things that are collected, or maybe if you are putting things in a certain place, those things are placed in a storage area. Storage is the place where we often put things. Another word we often use is stuff. Stuff. This, once again, is a generic term, general term for things. Stuff. Maybe things you have or things you own. Your stuff. The things you have. The things maybe you keep in a certain place. Some people keep their stuff in a cupboard. Some people keep their stuff on the floor. I know sometimes I have a very bad habit of leaving my clothes on the floor. And, well, first of all, it looks very untidy and also a little dangerous as well, because you could trip over the stuff that is lying on the floor. Stuff that we have, stuff that we need, or maybe things that we own as well. Things that you own are often referred to as your belongings. So this, once again, is a noun that defines the things that you own. The things that belong to you are your belongings. They are your things. Of course, sometimes things that we own may no longer be useful. We might describe those things as junk. We might say that something is useless, or something that we no longer need or use can be described as junk. Quite often we will use the word junk when we are talking about things that have broken or no longer work properly. Maybe an old television, or maybe an old computer that no longer works properly. We can describe it as junk. Maybe there is a car that you have and you've had it for many years and now it does not run very well. You might describe it as a piece of junk. Even if it still runs, even if you still use it, sometimes we can use the word junk as, well, maybe an insult, or maybe in a sarcastic way. Your car might be old and worn out. You might describe it as a piece of junk. So the word junk can be used in many ways and in many situations. If you want to be formal, you might say accumulated items, the things that you have collected, the things you have bought over the years, your accumulated items, the things you have bought, the things that you keep, the things that you don't want to throw away. They are all accumulated. You gather those things. Clothes, I suppose a lot of people think of clothes when we talk about items that we have or we own. Quite often we will mention clothing. We all have clothes. Some of us have lots of clothes. Some of us have too much or too many clothes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So the accumulated items are the things you've bought over the year for yourself. You might have things that you no longer need, or maybe things you no longer use. We describe these as unused items, things that you don't want or things that you no longer need. Quite often, this particular phrase is used when something is still new. So we have never used it. It has never been used at all. Quite often the thing will still be in the box and still be sealed or wrapped in the box. So unused items quite often are things that are as good as new because they've never been used. Something you no longer want or something you no longer need can be described as surplus to your needs. It is something you no longer require, something you no longer need. Maybe a thing that you used to use in your job or part of your work, but now perhaps you've changed your job or maybe you no longer work. So that thing becomes surplus to your needs. You do not need that thing anymore. It is something that is no longer used. I like this word. Oh, very nice. Superfluous. If something is superfluous, it means it is no longer required. It is no longer needed. Maybe it is something that you had and perhaps you have it already. It is superfluous. It is no longer needed. It serves no purpose to you. It is superfluous. I like that word. Something that is no longer used. And there are many things, quite often, I think sometimes we live in a wasteful society where we buy things but we never use it. Maybe something we feel that we need, but then after we buy it, after we get it, we realise we don't actually need it at all. So sometimes that happens. Sometimes it is no longer used. Maybe it is something you only use once or twice and then never use again. Quite often things you buy for your kitchen. Maybe a bread maker or an ice cream maker or maybe some other device that is supposed to save time in the kitchen. But you use it once or twice and then you realise you don't want to use it anymore, so you put it away. So I think most of us, somewhere in our kitchen, there is at least one thing that has been put away in a cupboard or hidden away that we no longer use. Perhaps something that you use for DIY, or maybe if you are doing a certain task. Maybe something you buy and you only need that thing once and then you put it away somewhere. So I think it kind of happens quite a lot. Another one. We can describe things as a clutter or mess. We can describe something as a clutter. So if there are lots of things lying around, like here on my screen, you can see here, there are lots of things lying around. Clutter. Lots of things just thrown on the floor or maybe in the corner of a room. Something that is clutter. Or of course we can use the word mess as well. Mess. The word mess means something that is disorganized, things that have just been thrown in one place. It is a mess. We often use the word mess to mean confusion as well. Maybe things are in a mess. Everything is in a mess. Some people say that the world at the moment is in a mess. Everything is disorganized and confused. It is a mess. One thing we have to do quite often, we have to make difficult decisions in life. And one of the most difficult decisions, especially when you have things that you want to keep, but you know that thing will be in the way. It is something that is large, or something that is too big for the room, or maybe things that you no longer need, but you still feel as if you have an attachment. You still feel as if you want to be near that thing. Sometimes you have to make a difficult decision. Shall I keep that thing, or shall I throw it away? Keep or throw. Do I keep it, or do I throw it away or throw it out? Furniture. Maybe something that is old, maybe a chair that is now falling to pieces, or maybe something you've had for many years and you don't want to say goodbye to it. You want to keep it, even though it's old and worn out. Should I keep it, or should I throw it away? Quite often people will keep old things because they remind them of the past. This is something we were talking about yesterday, because Mr. Steve wants to bring some of his mother's furniture here to have in the house. So that is one of the things that we are having to do at the moment. We are having to make a very tough decision on what to keep, because Steve's mum has furniture in her house, and now she no longer needs it because she's no longer around. So we have to make the difficult decision, keep or throw. Of course, these days, and this is a very good idea, charity shops and maybe charities that have shops where they sell things, second-hand furniture or used furniture. Quite often they will collect anything that people don't want anymore. So that's a good idea, I think. So quite often we have to think about what we are going to throw away and what we are going to keep. But I think sometimes it is very hard to throw things away, as we will find out in a few moments from now. So when we want to keep things, we often put them in storage. We put them into storage. We decide to put them in a certain place or a certain part of the house. These days, of course, a lot of people have too much stuff. They have too many items in their life. So they will often take those things to another place, to a storage area. So these days it is possible to rent or even buy a place to store things. And I think it's one of the reasons why people have too much stuff, because they know if they have too many things, they can always put it somewhere else. They can always put it into storage. Store it somewhere else. So I think these days there are two types of people. There are people that want to keep things and they don't want to throw things away. And there are other people who just throw things away. They get rid of them and then they buy something new. So I think those are the two main types of people that exist. Then, of course, we have places where people like to put their junk. Well, first of all, we have this place. If you are lucky enough to have a roof on your house, quite often there will also be a loft or attic, a place in your roof space. And quite often people will put things up there. I think most people at some point will put something in their attic or loft. So here in the UK, we often describe the place at the top of your house or the roof space as the loft. Loft. And some people say attic. So to be honest with you, both of them are acceptable. So I think it's fair to say that lots of people these days do like to put things away. They like to store things. They don't want to throw those things away because they remind them of the past. They remind them of a moment of time, maybe from their childhood. There is also garage. There is a garage. Most people, if they have a car or they have a place where they want to put things, quite often there is a storage area. Of course, your garage is supposed to be used for your car. But these days, a lot of people just put junk, rubbish. They have things that they just put in their garage, even though those things they probably don't need anymore. And they might never use those things again. But they still put them away. They put them in a place where they can keep them safely. And quite often that place will be the garage. People will put things away. And, well, you can see what's happening there. There are too many things in the garage. Too many things have been stored away. Here's another one, another picture. Oh, this also is a garage. You can see quite often people will clear out their garage or a place where they have lots of unused things, lots of junk. It's amazing over the years how much junk you can actually collect. And quite often you find that now and again you have to clear out, you have to throw away some of the junk that you have. And I think this is something that happens quite often in people's lives. It is something that happens the older you get. Quite often you like to keep things because you don't want to throw them away. You don't want to throw them out. Another word we can use is hoard. A person who hoards things. Hoard. It means to put things away or to keep things nearby. You put them all into one place. You keep collecting everything. And there are people who can't stop doing it. They have to keep everything that happens in their life. Maybe newspapers, maybe magazines, and they feel a personal connection to them, but they can't throw them away. So some people hoard and other people store, but they are two different types of thing. And then we have the noun hoarder. A person who is a hoarder is a person who can't stop keeping the things that they have personal contact with. So they collect everything around them and they keep it. They can't let go. A hoarder is a person who is unable to throw things away. They are unable to let go of items. The emotional bond between the person and the items is unusually strong. The habit of hoarding items often comes after a traumatic occurrence or personal tragedy. So there are people who cannot stop themselves from keeping everything that they've touched or things that have been in their life. In fact, there are some people who keep everything, let's just say. And that's all I'm saying about that. So hoarding can be a problem, but I think it's fairly normal for people in their everyday lives. I think it's normal for people to collect things, keep things, especially things that mean something to them. I suppose the danger is sometimes you might not want to let go of anything. You want to keep it all nearby. So that was today's subject. Junk, items, things. Another word I didn't mention today was tat. Tat. That is something that you buy that is already useless. Something you've bought that is already useless. It has no purpose anyway. Maybe you buy something from a market. It's very cheap. But when you get it home, you realise it is just tat. It is rubbish. Thank you very much for your company today. We've had a lot of people here. We had Mr. Steve here forcing me to turn out my lights. Did you see that? And we had to light our candles. If you missed that, you can watch it again because the live stream will be available to watch as many times as you want. See you later. Thank you very much for your company. This was a special Thursday English Addict Extra. I will be back with you on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. Mr. Steve will be here as well. Hopefully, he will be in a much better mood. He was a little bit grumpy today, don't you think? Thanks for your company. Thank you very much for joining me. Very nice to have you here today. Nicoletta, when I went to Scotland, I left my clothes for a landlady of a bed and breakfast, and she gave them to Bernardo's, a famous charity. Yes, Bernardo's is a charity mainly aimed at children, helping children and helping children who are suffering or maybe who have families who have little money. So Bernardo's. Yes, many charities will take your old furniture and also your old items as well. Thank you very much for your company. I will see you on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you. I think I will leave you with the lights. Would you like to see the lights? Or maybe the view from my window? I think the view from my window is much nicer, to be honest, because it looks amazing outside. I love it very much, in fact. Thank you for your company. See you later. Catch you on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying, see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday and the rest of your week. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.